we extend our discussions on the use of digital tools for climate smart agriculture. In this series, we want to look at the determinants of the use of digital tools. We want to look at the benefits and then the challenges of digitalization of CSA in Nigeria. When we say determinants, we are looking at factors that influence the use of digital tools. How does socioeconomic characteristics of farmers, their institutional characteristics, and other variables, how do they come into play when it comes to use of digital tools? And then benefits, we want to look at what gains do farmers make from use of digital tools, and then what are the issues that seem to make it difficult for farmers to use digital tools. Please welcome again. We start with the determinants of the use of digital tools in CSA. Research has shown that the socioeconomic characteristics of farmers which seem to influence their use of digital tools will include their literacy level, years of farming experience, farm income, assets, size of farmland, and the membership in cooperative organizations. These variables would either bring about a positive influence or negative influence on the use of digital tools. Frequently, often, we've seen that as level of education increases, farmers tend to use digital tools the more. Of course, we know that digital literacy is essential for the optimal use of digital equipment in climate smart agriculture. And then farmers who are not literate may find it difficult to access climate smart agriculture messages through such tools as phone and other mobile applications. Imagine a farmer who is not well educated on Facebook, WhatsApp. Such farmer may not make the best of such platforms. Then age also influences the use of digital tools. As farmers' age increases, most studies point to the fact that the probability of using digital tools decreases. So the younger the farmer, the more the tendency to use digital tools. Now, these things are important because as you bring your intervention to encourage farmers to use these tools as an extension professional, you will need to know where to tend your major interventions towards. Then, farmers' household size also influences their use of digital tools. For most of the studies, when you go through journal publications, larger households imply a robust source of farm labor, and then this supports income. So, the larger the household, the more the likelihood in most studies, not all, there may be deviations because larger households allows members to gain more access to mobile phones and laptops than smaller households. And then you also know that larger households will have more persons going out to source for information. So information needs of larger farm families are more diversified, and they can take advantage of tailored information from digital advisory services. Then there are also other factors aside the farmers' socioeconomic factors that may influence the farmers' use of digital tools. So we have things like membership in cooperative associations. It's been observed that the more farmers tend to join cooperative associations, the more the tendency for them to use digital tools. Membership in cooperative associations serve as a network for farmers' interrelationships with the attendant influence of individual farmers' adoption of digital tools. Farmers' cooperative society may support the making of knowledgeable decisions regarding farm management, selection of technologies, and the use of market channels. So these organizations can come together, assist farmers in taking responsible decisions in this line. Also, most research findings also point to the fact that this perception of digital tools also will influence how farmers would use these tools. Digital tools related characteristics will also influence farmers' use of the tools for climate smart agriculture. For instance, what happens to effort expectancy? What happens to performance expectancy? What happens to social effort? These variables will come in. If the performance expectancy is high, farmers will likely use the tools. If it is low, farmers are not likely to use the tools. Internet availability and access also influence the access and use of digital tools. There are so many of them. Possibly you can look out for other variables, but then they may include farming practice, weather conditions, and access to training for beneficiaries. These will definitely influence whether farmers will use digital tools or not. So we now look at the gains. What are the benefits of a digitalized climate smart agriculture? There are a whole lot of them. Including increased productivity due to better management systems, because it gives you this robust and better quality of farm practice, farm produce, and a sustainable production chain, improve food safety and rural development. And as increase in the implementation of digital CS positively influence farmers' access to CSA information relating to the use of farm inputs, reliable weather forecasting, current market information, etc. With the increase in mobile phone ownership, information is usually transmitted to farmers through mobile phone assisted services. So that's also a benefit. Then with digital tools now, you can be sure that more labor will be available for other aspects of agricultural production and then other things that farmer want to do in their household, because these tools would hasten the rate at which agricultural production activities are carried out. Also, when digital tools are being used, there is more profit for farm input efficiency. We know that if you use digital tools, there is the tendency to provide or produce high quality farm produce. We remember some time ago, Nigerian products or farm produce were rejected abroad because of the low quality of the production process. But with more digital tools, you can be very sure that our products will be well accepted outside the shores of this nation. The nutrient efficiency tools in agriculture improves the precision of farmers' decision regarding reduction of input cost, increasing farm yields, and minimizing the adverse impact of farming operation on agricultural lands. There are wireless devices that have also supported the deployment of smart irrigation, reduction in water losses, and efficient recognition of soil and nutrients content. These are some of the advantages that we get with digital tools. Also, through precision water management, we've seen as much assistance in attaining higher crop harvest. So there is yield increase. That's yield increase because farmers now become more efficient in the use of these tools, and that will also increase their turnover, their revenue, invariably, because as they have increased productivity, they would have enough to eat and then enough to sell. So what we're seeing in extension is that it improves household income, especially for the farming households. It also gives the farmer this advantage of securing the household nutrition and food security to an extent. Even if they don't fully attend food security, you can be sure that food availability and food sufficiency will be improved on. However, even with these advantages, there are also certain challenges that is making it difficult for Nigerian farmers to adopt digital tools. These challenges would include, but not limited to what we're discussing here. They will include things like the increasing widening disparity between urban and the rural people. So there is somewhat technical variations in terms of availability, access, and connectivity to internet, as well as social differences that delay innovation transfer between rural and urban dwellers, um, things like economic issues and then education. Also, there is low level of illiteracy. I mean, when it comes to internet, electronic literacy among farmers in the rural areas. So, provided the level of illiteracy is low, you don't expect high level of use of digital tools. So, when farmers don't boost their level of knowledge of electronics and then electricals, it becomes a bit difficult for them to effectively make use of digital tools. Another challenge is that which we know, of course, that sometimes these tools don't match the needs of the farmers. We just copy technology from abroad, bring them down here, then expect all the farmers to start using them. Sometimes these technologies don't meet the needs of the farmers, so it's also a challenge that we cannot ignore. We can't ignore that. Then there is the increasing trend of digital technologies in developing countries, please. Trying to resemble the system of agricultural production in developed countries. So we're trying to copy, but we're not copying to suit our needs. So that's also a problem that cannot be ignored. Then the absence of data. We don't have enough data, I mean statistical data, to know the extent we've gone, whether we are making progress or not, or whether we are pushing ahead fine or not. So we need the data to push ahead to be very sure of where we are. Other challenges will include the cost of acquisition of these tools, cost of installation, and the cost of maintenance of these tools. Then low digital skills, you know, the non-availability of digital infrastructure, and the negative perception that farmers have towards these digital tools. They are serious challenges that farmers face when it comes to the digitalization of climate smart agriculture in Nigeria.